In this video, I'm going to react to 5 Major League Baseball records nobody wants. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now, this is going to be a really interesting one because obviously there's plenty of records, I imagine, in the major leagues that you would love to possess. You know, maybe most home runs hit in a season, most home runs hitting over the course of a career, maybe most double plays, most triple plays, things like that. You know, things that you would be proud as a Major League Baseball player to own and hope that you have them for at least the rest of your life, right? But then I imagine that on the flip side of that coin, there's probably quite a few records that you would hate to have. Maybe quickest Major League Baseball bust, or maybe shortest career in the Major League Baseball history, or you know, things of that nature. So when I was recommended this video, I thought, yeah, this is going to be really useful for, you know, because we all know who the best players are, you know, or the legendary players are, you know, like your Babe Ruths, you know, your Darryl Strawberries, things like that. But then, you know, like who are the guys that you do not want to be in the company of? So yeah, let's go. This is going to be me reacting to 5 Major League Baseball records that nobody wants. Let's do it.
Baseball is the most stat-driven sport out there. Everything has a stat in baseball. I mean, I think they have stats for stats. And with things like OPS, WAR, and other ratios I didn't pay attention to in calculus, there are definitely a stockpile of records to choose from. Some of them magnificently enhanced by steroids.
I love how he snuck that in.
Some really magical, and then there are some you just don't want. And before I get into this, please leave a like, comment, and if you're not already, subscribe for more videos like this. And like opening day, let's get started. Number 5, most times hit by a pitch, Huey Jennings, 287.
Oh man, his body must be banged up. 287 times he's taken baseballs to the body. Ouch.
So when you get up to the plate, it is a really good idea to protect yourself. I mean, you know, there's the potential of getting killed up there. But Huey Jennings didn't see it that way. Jennings, the shortstop and first baseman for mostly the Orioles and the Brooklyn Superbuzz, yes, that was a team, apparently loved to get a baseball thrown not only near him, but at him. This dude got hit more times than Ronda Rousey did in her last fight.
Oh, that was a heavy dose of shade he just threw at Ronda.
The tune of 287 times. In fact, in one year, 1896, he got plunked 51 times. I know this was in an era before pitchers had control and there was clean drinking water, but I mean, this dude must have been standing on top of the plate just asking for it. Number 4, worst at-bat to home run ratio, at least one career home run. Dwayne Kuiper, 1 home run in 3,259 at-bats. So there have been several major leaguers who've played their entire MLB career without hitting a single home run.
Was that Charles Barkley there? That was terrible form. To be honest, I can't say a thing because I can barely hit a golf ball, so.
Had more than 1,000 at-bats, led by William Holbert, who had 2,335 at-bats and not one home run.
Wow.
And that's great. It's easy to bag on someone who can't do something. It's just not fair, like making fun of a midget for not being able to dunk. But I want to talk about the guy who was capable of doing it and only did it once. We all know how Bartolo Colon hit the most amazing fat guy home run ever last year, Homer Simpson-esque near surreal form of reality, which was amazing. But let's talk about Dwayne Kuiper. Kuiper was a defensive second baseman for 12 years in the bigs, playing for both the Indians and the Giants from 1974 to 1985. A decent contact hitter, he had a career batting average of 271, but a pedestrian on-base percentage of 325. And he didn't steal many bases. In fact, he stole 52 bases in his career and got caught stealing 71 times.
Oh, man.
How do you even do that? Anyways, the dude was listed at 6 feet tall, 175, so he really didn't have a frame built for power. But on August 29th, 1977, Kuiper faced Steve Stone, a man who would win the Cy Young Award once in his career, and took him deep into the night in the old Cleveland Municipal Stadium. The dinger was after 1,300 at-bats in the bigs.
I love this guy's use of memes. It's about damn time.
And he would have nearly 2,000 more and never do it again.
That is the most... I know I'm digressing massively from this video, but look at the beard here. Look at the intricacy. I mean, how do you... These look suspicious, though.
Again. Let's have a look, shall we?
Without hitting a home run. Then one night.
I mean, it must have been 105 degrees with enough humidity to float in the air with a lawn chair that night. The ball nearly scrapes the back of the fence as it goes over. Congrats, Dwayne. You are the guy who did the one thing everyone wants to do once in the most chances to do it. Number 3, fewest pitches, complete game loss. Pitcher. On September 3rd, 1988, Jose Bautista tossed one of the best games of not only his career, but maybe in history.
Wow.
Too bad he caught an L for it. Bautista, pitching for the Orioles, threw only 70 pitches, gave up only 4 hits, struck out 2, and gave up 1 earned run. Problem was, his team was facing Mark Langston, who tossed a 3-hitter of his own, struck out 8, and didn't give up a single run. Neither pitcher walked a batter, and the time of game was only 1 hour and 45 minutes.
That's pretty short, huh? Yeah.
Well, you see, that 1 run cost Bautista, and since they were on the road, he only had to work 8 innings, and according to the rules, that's a complete game. I was able to find the box score for this game. Another interesting fact is that Langston faced the minimum amount of hitters in 27, and Bautista himself faced only 28. What a show. And I guess someone had to lose, like when Harvey Haddix pitched 12 perfect innings in a row and still lost. I couldn't find the quote, and trust me, I looked, but one time Roger Craig, who was pitching for this... But one time, Roger Craig, who was pitching for the 62 Mets, got beat 16-0. After the game, they asked him what went wrong, and he said, well, how the hell can you win if your team doesn't score any runs? Exactly, Roger. Exactly. Number 2, worst batting average in a season, pinch hitter, minimum 30 at-bats, Enrique Cruz. Pinch hitting is a very important function in Major League Baseball. It's like the streak shooter in basketball. We need you to come in cold, get up there, and make something happen. Granted, pinch hitting is very, very hard, and it's definitely a mental thing as well as a physical thing. It's also interesting that some guys can only hit under certain conditions but aren't good enough to hit every day. And thus, the pinch hitter, like a long snapper in football, has a job. And what I deem as the worst pinch hitter of all time, well, he didn't do his job very well. Enrique Cruz in 2003 pinch hit in 36 games and got 4 hits. 4 for 39 and a .105 average. And you ask, well, why was he out there so much? Baseball has this thing called the Rule 5 draft, in which one team can technically steal another player from another team, provided that once he is taken, he is required to spend the entire next year in the big leagues, regardless of his performance. Sending him back or cutting him has major consequences, so taking a player in the Rule 5 draft is a big risk. Sometimes it works, as a guy named Roberto Clemente was a Rule 5er, as well as solid players like Josh Hamilton, Johan Santana, and Bip Roberts. I just wanted to say Bip Roberts. So the Brewers took Cruz and were straddled with him for all of 2003.
What the heck is this? Is that a grill, or is that tobacco? Is that chewing tobacco maybe?
And he quickly showed that hitting major league pitching was not his thing, as this was his one and only full season in the bigs. Even worse than his lack of pinch hitting skill, for 60 games he played for the Brewers in 2003, he batted a paltry .85. You know what that gets, people? A damn, son.
I love it. This guy's he's one of my favorites at the moment. Damn, son.
Number 1, most consecutive losses, Anthony Young, 27. Okay, so if you watch my videos, you know that I am a Mets fan.
27 consecutive losses. Oh, boy.
And this record is very, very personal to me. From May 6th, 1992 to July 24th, 1993, Anthony Young lost 27 consecutive decisions, breaking the previous record by 4 games. So let me take you back to 1992. I was still in high school. I had Mets gear out the wazoo. I had a horribly dirty Mets cap, an even more appalling Mets starter jacket. I lived the Mets. I followed them religiously, and on April 9th, 1992, I sat and watched Anthony Young throw a masterful, complete game 7-1 victory over the Cardinals. He had a live arm, a sinking fastball, and really good velocity. He would get a win in relief 10 days later, and things, well, they got really bad from there. And the Mets entered into a period of time called the early 90s, which I would like to pair with the XFL as things I would like to forget. Forever. Young would lose 14 straight decisions that year. He was also made the team's closer and saved 15 games, and he was effective in that role, and the losses didn't seem like a big deal as he was getting saves. But the following year, he remained in the bullpen and did spot starter duty. The Mets were terrible and were allegedly popping steroids all over the place, yet still losing 100 games a year. I mean, if you're going to cheat,
win.
Young
Win. Like, come on. How do you all go on the juice and you're still losing? I mean, are you doing the wrong stuff? Is that it?
broke the major league record for consecutive losses when he notched his 24th in a row. His 26th loss in a row really hurt as he started a game against the Astros, gave up a leadoff hit, and then retired 23 batters in a row and gave up a dinky 2-run homer. And the Mets gave him exactly 1 hit of support in the 2-0 loss. What I love about this story, though, is how the streak was finally and mercifully broken. On July 27, 1993, Young was brought into a tie game in the 9th inning. Young comes in, and of course he gives up an unearned run on a bunt single. I mean, who does this happen to?
Wow.
I was certain Young would lose his record 28th game in a row, but the Mets, who finished dead last that year with 103 losses, and facing Brian Harvey, the closer who converted 45 out of 49 opportunities in the season, somehow rallied for 2 runs in the 9th. It was a walk-off win. One Young stood to lose. I remember seeing the players come out and mob Young, and you could see the sense of stressful joy and relief in him. The crowd cheering. It was the most special, unspecial moment in the history of baseball. Oh, AY, how my heart both broke and sung for thee. After the game, Young said, "It wasn't a monkey off my back. This was a zoo." Sadly.
Well put. I can relate. I can imagine what he must have been going through, having like a 500-pound gorilla just sat on his shoulder like, get off. I just want this record to be broken already.
Young has been recently diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. I mean, what does this guy have to do to catch a break? I'm pulling for him. It's like he's facing another loss, 2 outs in the 9th. We're down to our last strike. Come on, universe. Do AY a solid. Let's rally.
Please.
If you want to donate to cancer research, I will leave a link in the description down below. I am, and screw cancer. Agree with my list? Think I left any unwanted records off of here? Are you an emotional wreck after I Debbie Downer the last segment? Leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And as always, I'm 5 Points Gaming, and you made it to the end of this video.
Man, that was a really interesting video. Obviously, I had to check on Anthony Young and see, you know, what had happened with him, and unfortunately he passed away, so rest in peace, Anthony Young. But yeah, a lot of really interesting records in this video, ones that nobody would want, obviously. I mean, just but this is the thing, in professional sports, for you to have the greatest, you're gonna have to have the not so great. That's just how it goes. You know, you're gonna have people that rise to the top and people that, you know, just unfortunately do not. But really interesting video. Thanks for recommending this one to me, whoever you are, and rest in peace, Anthony Young. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.